here today to stand up for exactly that, for a vote that is accurate, secure, and fair and just, in which every vote counts and every vote is counted. This, in fact, is what makes America great: the promise of democracy and the promise of justice for all.
She just won't give up. Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein's refusal to accept the results of the election pushes on. Today, a judge has ordered a hand recount of Michigan's nearly 5 million ballots to begin immediately, while Stein is trying to force a federal court order to restart the recount in Pennsylvania. A recount is already underway in Wisconsin, and another independent candidate is requesting one in Nevada now. Meanwhile, the Democrats are playing their part in obstructing progress by promising to give President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks the Garland treatment, meaning Senate Dems will use tactics to delay confirmation of his picks for weeks, maybe months. So much for trying to work together to get our country in a better place. Joining me right now is Nick Adams from the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness, and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Leslie, what's the point of all this in terms of the recounts?
Well, first of all, I do favor the recount, and this is why. When you look at how much hacking has occurred, whether it's the DNC, John Podesta, could somebody hack into a voting process system within one or any of these states? Yes. I, as an American, want every vote to be counted, and I know a lot of Americans feel that and didn't vote because they feel their vote doesn't count. Obviously, it's
Are you suggesting that Donald Trump didn't win at all? Is that underlying any of your concerns right now about this process when you talk about hackers, et cetera? Do you think Donald Trump didn't win?
The Electoral College, I'm really not sure till I see the numbers. I don't think the end result of this recount will change that, but I do think it's important to know if every vote was counted and what that number is.
I know, you're a reasonable person. I guess the irony of all of this is, and I'll go over to Nick for a second. I mean, wasn't it the Democrats that were so worried about Donald Trump not accepting the legitimacy of the results?
Well, that's exactly right, Trish. I mean, what an irony. What an incredible turn of events. First of all, we have all of this excitement about whether or not Donald Trump is going to accept the outcome of the election, and Donald Trump wins. What happens? All of a sudden, it's the other side that don't want to accept the outcome.
It's wild. I'll tell you, the one thing that we have as a country is our democratic process. And we do, I agree, need to ensure that. And we want full transparency to make sure that every vote counts, Leslie. However, we're now at a point where it's quite obvious he won, she lost, game over, move on. And yet Democrats are saying, and I had one on the show the other day who said, we will do absolutely, positively everything in our power to put every obstacle we can in front of Donald Trump. Good luck, because he's got the majority of the votes. But why is there such total, utter resistance right now, Leslie? Shouldn't we be working hard to make sure that we get the economy back on track for America?
Well, first of all, I didn't like when it was said by our current president, by Mitch McConnell of our current president, that he was going to do everything he could to stop or to block. And I don't like tit for tat on either side, my side, the Democrats either. However, there are some legitimate concerns by Democrats, not those saying, oh, we're going to give them the Garland treatment, which is tit for tat, but those who have constituents that they have to report to, and the American people on the whole, when they have some concerns about some of the nominees. For example, an individual like Sessions, who 30 years ago was not able to be a federal judge over some issues of racism. How could you make that person in a higher position and confirm that individual for that?
I think that was actually hearsay. He's denied all of that. So you got to be careful when you're playing with some of that hearsay and trying to bring that up because you don't want to say false things about someone. Anyway, Nick, as you look at this environment we're in right now, I think Donald Trump's making it pretty clear that he's willing to do what he can to cross party lines. I mean, for goodness sakes, you had Al Gore over there at Trump Tower today saying we had an interesting, great meeting, really lengthy, etc. Isn't he trying to offer an olive branch of sorts?
He most certainly is. He's crossing the aisle to do everything that he can. I think what we're seeing from President-elect Trump is very promising. We're seeing somebody that is already breaking with convention, and I think that that's going to continue. And when we just have a look Trish, at the types of people that Donald Trump is already appointing, it's the most diverse team you could possibly contemplate.
Oh, by the way, I'd add there's a lot of women in there, which we like to see. All right, thank you so much. It's good to have you guys here.